The rumor of fear. The council chamber was never quiet, yet whenever the name of Earth was spoken, silence fell like a shadow. Across the great hall, where banners of countless empires hung, voices of hundreds of species once argued over laws, trade, and war. But when one delegate muttered the word humans, every voice cracked into silence, even the elder species. Those who had ruled for thousands of years lowered their eyes and looked away. A young cadet sat hidden among the observers. His name was Aaron, simple and curious. He had come to the council to learn the ways of the galaxy. He had seen the powerful species debate with fury. He had seen their fleets, their armies, their grand boasts. But he had never seen them fall quiet, not until Earth was mentioned. Why does their name bring such fear? Aaron whispered to himself. The alien beside him, an old advisor, leaned close and hissed, "Do not ask such questions, boy. You are too young to carry such knowledge." But that warning only burned stronger in Aaron's mind. The session continued, talks of borders and treaties filling the chamber again. Yet his thoughts circled around one mystery: the humans. Later that night in the academy dorms, Aaron sat with other cadets. He repeated what he had seen. They fell silent at one word. "Why? Who are the humans?" The room shifted uneasily. Some laughed nervously, some shook their heads. One cadet whispered, "They are the untouchable ones. No empire dares to strike them, not anymore." "Untouchable?" Aaron pressed. "What does that mean?" The cadet lowered his voice further. "Every fleet that moved against them is gone. Every army that marched to Earth never returned. Some say the planet itself defends them. Others say their people are like no other. Resilient, brutal, unstoppable." Aaron frowned. "But I have read the archives. Earth is small. Their numbers are not even great compared to the empires. How could they resist?" "That is the question no one answers," the cadet muttered. "Ask too much, and you will vanish like the fleets that challenge them." The group broke into nervous laughter, pretending it was only a joke. But Aaron noticed how none of them dared to speak loudly of Earth. Days passed, but the mystery only grew. In the library of the academy, Aaron searched for files. Yet every record about Earth was sealed, every battle marked as classified, every report ended in silence. One evening, as he studied alone, a shadow fell across his desk. An instructor stood there, her eyes cold. "Curiosity can be dangerous. Cadet, forget Earth, forget the humans, if you wish to live long." Aaron nodded quickly, but inside, his fire only grew stronger. That same night, rumors drifted through the academy halls, stories whispered like ghost tales. They said humans fought in wars where entire empires vanished. They said humans carried weapons that no one could see. They said humans once stood against predators that had devoured worlds. And Aaron lay awake in his bed, staring at the ceiling. He had come to the academy to learn about power. Yet here was a mystery greater than fleets or armies. A species that turned the most powerful rulers into trembling children. He whispered to himself, "If no alien dares to challenge them, then I must know why." Outside, the galaxy spun in silence, countless stars burning, countless empires plotting. But somewhere hidden among them was Earth, small, quiet, yet untouchable. And in the shadows of the council, fear grew like a storm. Fear of a force no one dared to test. Fear of the humans. Forgotten battles Aaron could not let it go. The silence around Earth was like a locked door, and his mind demanded to open it. One night, he slipped into the restricted wing of the academy library. His heart pounded as the gates scanned him. He knew if he was caught, he would be expelled, or worse, the restricted section was dark and endless, shelves stacked with records hidden. From the common eye, dust floated like shadows in the air. He searched the index, his hands trembling, and there it was. Earth, Terran Sector. The files were not ordinary. They were not books or scrolls. They were fragmented holograms, some pieces missing, others corrupted. Yet Aaron pressed the console, and the first record flickered alive. It was a council order, thousands of years old. Deploy fleets to subdue primitive world, Earth. Aaron's eyes widened. Primitive? Earth had once been called primitive? But then why were they feared now? The next fragment appeared, distorted and broken, but the words froze his breath. First fleet destroyed, no survivors, unknown cause, recommend silence. He pressed again. Another record blinked. Second fleet, deployed 800 warships, communication lost. Aaron's hand shook. The last readable file glitched before his eyes. Third fleet, engaged orbit of Earth. Unexpected resistance. All forces erased. The file ended in static. Aaron leaned back, his chest heavy. 3 fleets, he whispered. 3 fleets gone. No survivors. Suddenly, a cold voice echoed in the hall. You should not be here. Aaron spun around. A figure stood in the shadows. Tall, armored, a scarred instructor from the War Division. The man's eyes were sharp as blades. I was only studying, Aaron stammered. You were digging, the instructor said, stepping closer. His voice carried weight. Many cadets have asked the same questions. Most of them are gone now. Do you want to vanish too? Aaron swallowed hard. I only want to know the truth. Why are humans untouchable? Why did the fleets vanish? The instructor stared at him for a long time. Then, instead of shouting, he leaned closer and whispered, Because humans do not fight like the rest of us. They are not conquerors. They are survivors, and survivors fight until nothing is left standing. Aaron's breath caught. He wanted to ask more, but the instructor pressed a finger to his lips. Say no more. Ask no more. Forget for your own life. Then the man turned and walked away, his steps heavy like thunder, but Aaron could not. Forget. His curiosity was now fire, burning stronger with every warning. The next day he overheard 2 generals in the training ground. They thought no cadet was near, but Aaron crouched behind the wall and listened. The humans are not to be touched, one general hissed. The council buried the truth for a reason. If the young races ever knew, enough, the other general snapped. Do not even whisper it. The humans turned every invasion into a graveyard. Their enemies vanish, fleets erased, empires broken, all because they fight as if death itself is their ally. Aaron pressed his back against the wall. His skin prickled. He wanted to run, but he forced himself to stay. The generals moved on, leaving only silence behind. That night, in the academy mess hall, the cadets shared ghost stories again. Some claimed humans fought with weapons unseen. Some claimed Earth itself was alive, protecting its people. Others whispered of predators, ancient hunters, that once tried to consume humanity only to be torn apart by human resistance. Aaron listened, his heart pounding. He thought of the vanished fleets, the sealed files, the fearful generals. He finally spoke. What if it is not magic? What if humans are simply stronger than anyone believes? The hall fell silent. All eyes turned to him. Some cadets looked afraid, some curious, some angry. One cadet whispered, If you say such words too often, the council will silence you too. Aaron lifted his chin. Maybe the council is silent because they are afraid. Maybe humans are the only ones who can't be broken. The words hung in the air, sharp and dangerous. Later, alone in his bunk, Aaron's mind burned with new resolve. He now understood a piece of the truth. Humans were not feared because of numbers or size. They were feared because every empire that tried to crush them had been erased. He whispered to himself, The untouchable force. It is real. Far beyond the academy, on a quiet blue planet circling a yellow sun, the humans lived in silence. The galaxy feared them, but Earth itself remained calm, waiting, and the question grew larger in Aaron's heart. What would happen if someone dared to test them again? The first encounter. The Academy buzzed with urgent whispers. Something was happening at the borders of the Terran sector, something the Council tried to keep hidden. Aaron leaned closer as two instructors spoke in hurried tones, their faces pale. "The Dominion has moved its armada. They think they can blockade Earth." Aaron's chest tightened. The Dominion was no small empire. Their fleets were massive, known for crushing rebellions and enslaving weaker worlds. And yet, they were marching toward Earth. The instructors noticed him listening and snapped at him to leave, but Aaron had already made his choice. He would see the truth with his own eyes. That night, he slipped aboard a patrol vessel headed near the Terran border, hiding among the supply crates. His heart pounded as the ship crossed into the quiet black of space. Hours later, alarms blared. The crew shouted, pulling up the view screens, and there it was, an ocean of ships. The Dominion fleet stretched across the void, thousands of warships locked in formation, surrounding one small world, Earth Aurans. Eyes widened. He had never seen so many ships. Their cannons glowed, their shields burned bright. Their banners filled the dark. And yet Earth did not send out a single ship to meet them. The Dominion commander's voice boomed across all channels. "People of Earth, you are now under the rule of the Dominion. Surrender your planet and resources, or be destroyed." The crew of the patrol vessel held their breath. They waited for Earth to respond with fear, with begging, with silence. But instead, a single voice answered, calm and sharp. "This is Earth Command. Leave now. You have one chance. This is not a negotiation." The words were simple, but the tone made Aaron's skin crawl. The Dominion fleet laughed, mocking the threat. Their commander sneered, "One planet against thousands of ships, you dare threaten us?" And then, without warning, it began. Aaron gripped the edge of the console as Earth's defenses came alive. Not slow, not weak, fast, precise, merciless. From the black of space, human warships appeared, not thousands, not even hundreds, only dozens. They moved like predators, silent and deadly. Their weapons cut through the Dominion ships as if tearing through paper. Every strike was perfect. Every shot hit its target. Dominion warships exploded one after another, not even able to fire back. The patrol crew gasped, their screens filled. With flashes of fire and shattered hulls, the Dominion armada, so vast, so proud, was breaking apart like glass under a hammer. Aaron's heart pounded, his eyes darted from one burning wreck to the next. He could not believe what he saw. "They're destroying them, all of them," he whispered. The Dominion tried to retreat, their commander shouting orders, but before they could turn, Earth's ships moved again, cutting off every escape. One by one, Dominion vessels went dark, silence swallowing their voices. Then it ended. The great Dominion fleet, the fleet that could crush worlds, was gone. Erased in less than an hour. Only wreckage floated in the black. The human voice returned on the open channel, calm as before. "This is Earth Command. Let this be the last time. No one touches Earth." Silence followed. The Dominion was gone. Their power shattered, their pride burned away. Aaron sat frozen, his hands trembling. His heart racing, he had seen it with his own eyes. The untouchable force of Earth was no myth. It was real. It was terrifying. On the patrol ship, the crew stared at the wreckage, no one daring to speak, their faces pale, their eyes wide. They had seen many wars, but nothing like this. Finally, one of the crew whispered, "This is why no alien dares challenge them." Aaron swallowed hard, his chest heavy. The silence of the council, the whispers of the cadets, the sealed records, all of it made sense now. The humans did not boast. They did not parade their power. They simply acted, precise and ruthless, leaving only silence behind. As the patrol vessel turned away, Aaron stared out the window at the small blue planet. so calm, so ordinary. Yet behind that calm face was power beyond measure. He whispered to himself, "They are not untouchable because they cannot be harmed. They are untouchable because they will never let anyone walk away." Far away, news spread like wildfire, empires trembled, rulers whispered. The Dominion had tested Earth, and the Dominion was gone. And in the heart of the Academy, Iran knew his journey had only begun. He had seen the truth, and now he wanted to understand it, to learn how one world could stand against all others, because if Earth truly was the untouchable force, then one day the entire galaxy might depend on them. The truth behind the force. The image of the destroyed Dominion fleet never left Aaron's mind. He replayed it over and over, the sight of thousands of warships falling in silence, while Earth's calm voice gave only one warning. The Academy tried to bury the news. They called it unconfirmed. They said the Dominion had retreated for political reasons. But Aaron had seen it with his own eyes. He knew the truth, and the truth haunted him. He could not sleep. He could not think of anything else. He wanted to know more. He wanted to understand what made humans so powerful. At last, he made his decision. He would go to the frontier, near Earth itself. Aaron used the last of his credits to board a cargo ship headed toward the Terran borders. The crew warned him not to go. "No one travels close to Earth. It is forbidden. Ships vanish." But Aaron only answered, "I must see them with my own eyes." Days later, the ship drifted into the quiet edge of human space. It felt different. There. The stars seemed sharper, the silence heavier. The crew grew nervous, keeping their distance. Aaron stood by the viewport, staring into the dark, when suddenly he saw them. Not fleets of thousands, not endless armadas, only a handful of ships patrolled the border, sleek and silent. Their weapons were not raised, yet every move carried a deadly precision. The cargo captain whispered, "They know we are here. If they wanted, we would already be gone." Aaron's chest tightened. He felt the weight of invisible eyes, watching every motion, judging, measuring, but no attack came. Instead, a single message flickered on the comms. "You are entering restricted space. Identify or leave." The captain stammered out their cargo ID, trembling. Within seconds, the human voice replied, "Cleared. Do not linger." The channel went dead. The cargo ship pulled back, but Iran's resolve deepened. He slipped away at the next port, determined to continue alone. He found an old outpost on a nearby moon, a forgotten place once used by traders. There he met a man, an exile from the council, gray-haired, eyes tired. His name was Daniel, a simple name, yet his voice carried heavy truth. "You seek the humans," Daniel said before Aaron even asked. Aaron nodded. "I saw what they did to the Dominion. I need to understand." Daniel chuckled bitterly. "Understanding them is dangerous, but since you have already seen, I will tell you a piece of it." He poured a drink, his hands shaking slightly. "The Council fears humans not for their weapons, though their weapons are deadly. They fear them because of what they are. Humans are not conquerors. They are survivors. When the galaxy left them alone, they struggled. When the galaxy attacked them, they adapted. When they lost, they learned. And when they rose again, they were stronger than before." Aaron leaned forward, listening. Daniel's eyes darkened. Every empire grows soft in time, too used to power, too used to victory. But humans carry memory like fire. They remember every scar, every defeat, every cruelty, and they turn it into steel. That is why no one can break them. Every enemy that tried only taught them how to win. Aaron whispered, "So the untouchable force is not only their ships." Daniel nodded. "It is their spirit, boy, their unity, their will, their refusal to kneel. They do not fight to rule others. They fight so no one can ever rule them again. The room fell silent. Aaron felt his chest tighten. The words struck him deeper than any warning, deeper than any threat. He thought of the cadets whispering in fear, the generals silencing questions, the council erasing history. It all made sense now. They are untouchable, Aaron whispered, because every strike against them only makes them stronger. Daniel gave a weary smile. Now you understand, but be careful. Knowing the truth will put you in danger. The council does not want others inspired by them. They fear what would happen if more species followed Earth's example. Outside, the stars burned quietly. But Aaron no longer looked at them with the same eyes. For the first time, he saw not empires, not armies, but weakness. He saw fragility. He saw fear. And in contrast, he saw the humans, small in number, yet endless in strength. He whispered to himself, the galaxy fears them, but one day the galaxy may need them. Far away on Earth, the people lived their ordinary lives, planting, building, laughing. Yet behind that simple life lay the truth Aaron now carried. They were the untouchable force, not because they destroyed, but because they endured. The untouchable force revealed. The warning came like thunder across the stars. An ancient predator species, long thought extinct, had returned. They moved like a storm, devouring systems, burning colonies, leaving nothing alive. The council trembled. Their armies were vast, but they broke quickly. Worlds that once boasted. Strength now begged for help. Fleets scattered like dust before the predator's endless swarm. Aaron stood in the academy war room, listening to reports. His heart pounded. How can anyone fight this? The instructors exchanged fearful glances. None spoke of resistance, only retreat. But then, on the last channel, a calm voice rose. This is Earth Command. We are moving. The chamber fell silent. Every species turned to the screen. Fear mixed with relief. Because when Earth spoke, the galaxy listened. Aaron pressed closer, his chest heavy. He had been waiting for this moment, the moment humanity showed its true power. Out in the dark, near the predator's invasion path, human fleets gathered, not endless in number, not towering in size, only hundreds, compared to the predator's thousands. Yet their formation was precise, sharp. Every ship placed with perfect purpose. The predators roared across comms, their voices like storms. You will fall, as all others have. But Earth's reply was simple, calm, and sharp. We are not others. You will not pass. And then the void shook. Aaron's eyes widened as the battle began. The predator swarm charged, a wave of teeth and fire. But the humans did not scatter. They advanced. They cut into the swarm with brutal precision. Weapons fired in perfect rhythm. Each strike tore through predator hulls. Ships that survived were hunted down, surrounded, destroyed. The predators tried to overwhelm, surrounding the human fleets. But the humans adapted, breaking formations, reforming instantly, turning traps into slaughter. Aaron gripped the console, his breath quick. They fight like they've done this before, he whispered. And he remembered Daniel's words. Humans remember every scar, every loss. They had faced predators in the past, and they had learned. They had endured now. They unleashed all that endurance in one devastating storm. The battle raged for hours, the predators throwing wave after wave, but each wave was broken, shattered, erased, the untouchable force revealed. The warning came like thunder across the stars. An ancient predator species, long thought extinct, had returned. They moved like a storm, devouring systems, burning colonies, leaving nothing alive. The council trembled. Their armies were vast, but they broke quickly, worlds that once boasted. Strength now begged for help. Fleets scattered like dust before the predator's endless swarm. Aaron stood in the academy war room, listening to reports. His heart pounded. How can anyone fight this? The instructors exchanged fearful glances. None spoke of resistance, only retreat. But then, on the last channel, a calm voice rose. "This is Earth Command. We are moving." The chamber fell silent. Every species turned to the screen, fear, mixed with relief. Because when Earth spoke, the galaxy listened. Aaron pressed closer, his chest heavy. He had been waiting for this moment. The moment humanity showed its true power, out in the dark, near the Predator's invasion path. Human fleets gathered, not endless in number, not towering in size, only hundreds compared to the Predator's thousands. Yet their formation was precise, sharp, every ship placed with perfect purpose. The Predators roared across comms, their voices like storms, "You will fall as all others have." But Earth's reply was simple, calm, and sharp. "We are not others. You will not pass." And then the void shook. Aaron's eyes widened as the battle began. The Predator swarm charged, a wave of teeth and fire. But the humans did not scatter. They advanced. They cut into the swarm with brutal precision. Weapons fired in perfect rhythm. Each strike tore through Predator hulls. Ships that survived were hunted down, surrounded, destroyed. The Predators tried to overwhelm, surrounding the human fleets. But the humans adapted, breaking formations, reforming instantly, turning traps into slaughter. Aaron gripped the console, his breath quick. "They fight like they've done this before," he whispered, and he remembered Daniel's words. Humans remember every scar, every loss. They had faced predators in the past, and they had learned. They had endured, now they unleashed all that endurance in one devastating storm. The battle raged for hours, the predators throwing wave after wave, but each wave was broken, shattered, erased. The Council's fleets, watching from a distance, could only stare. They had never seen war like this. They had never seen an enemy not only resist, but strike back with such fury. At last, the Predator's main vessel appeared, a colossal ship, larger than mountains. Its shadow swallowed stars, its weapons lit the void. The Council fleets fell, back in fear. But the humans advanced. Their ships moved straight toward the beast. Aaron's chest pounded. He could hardly breathe. The size difference was impossible. How could one small world face such a monster? But then he saw it. Human ships weaving together, their weapons combining, their strategy flawless. The Predator vessel fired, tearing through void. But the humans slipped aside, answering with a strike so precise it tore into the beast's core. Light exploded. The Predator flagship screamed across the comms, and then silence. The swarm faltered, leaderless. The humans struck again, finishing the battle with cold, perfect efficiency. When the void cleared, only wreckage remained. The Predator threat was gone, and through every channel across the galaxy, Earth's calm voice returned. "This war is finished. No one threatens this galaxy while humanity stands." Aaron's body shook. He could not speak. His eyes burned, for he had seen the truth. The untouchable force was not only defense of Earth, it was the defense of all. Around him, Council delegates whispered in awe, some in fear, some in relief, but none could deny it. Earth had saved them all. The galaxy had bent under the Predator's storm, but humanity had stood firm. Aaron whispered to himself, "They are the shield, they are the fire. That is why no alien dares challenge them, because they do not fight only for themselves. They fight for survival itself." On the view screen, Earth's fleet pulled back into silence. No parades, no celebration, only quiet resolve. They did not demand tribute. They did not claim worlds. They simply returned to their borders, guardians watching the stars. Aaron knew then that the galaxy's whispers were true. Earth was untouchable, not because they could not be harmed, but because they could never be broken. And in that moment, he felt pride instead of fear, for perhaps one day, he too could stand. Beside them, The story of humans would echo forever. A warning to enemies, a promise to allies. No alien dares challenge humans, because they are the untouchable force of Earth.